All right, thank you very much, Dominic. I do hope you can all hear me and I can hear my voice, so I guess you can. So first of all, allow me to start by thanking the organizers of this event for inviting the European Commission. As Dominic explained, I represent here today DG Justice and Consumers of the Commission. But since I was coming anyway to talk about e-codex and digitalization of judicial cooperation, I also agreed, of course, to say a few words on behalf of the Commission on the revision of the eIDAS regulation and what it potentially could hold for the future. Yes, it's not our file, but we are very much in close and continuous contact with our colleagues in DG Connect. Because electronic signatures, identity, electronic seals, all these aspects are crucial also to the work we are doing on digitalization of justice and judicial cooperation. So with that being said, let me start with a few words of introduction with why this revision of eIDAS, which is not such an old instrument after all, was necessary. This came about as a result of the evaluation of the regulation, which was carried out several years after its entry into force. And one of the elements which it is normal why we are actually asked to evaluate the effects of our instruments in all cases, and I think that's a good practice. So one of the deficiencies we in the Commission identified with the eIDAS regulation had to do with electronic identities. Because in 2021, the situation was, this was already almost a decade after entry into force of the eIDAS regulation, the situation was that only, I think, 14 or 15 member states have notified the so-called notified electronic identity schemes. There were other issues as well, and I think about 60% of the European population in terms of citizens and residents could in fact benefit from such an identity. Which is there to begin with to help people involved in the internal market and those who operate in a cross-border context. So this was also, of course, coinciding with the height of the COVID pandemic, where more and more people were working from home, trying to benefit from public services. So the situation was assessed as not sufficiently good, and this is why this was one of the elements which the Commission considered need to be addressed in a positive way and make sure that all citizens, all individuals residing in the EU could benefit from a common electronic identity for cross-border use. There are other reasons, of course, to revise the eIDAS regulation. I'm just going to mention a few of them. You're probably aware that in today's age, most people use their mobile phones to benefit from services, digital services, not computers in the traditional sense of the word. And in this regard, it is necessary that the technology is designed and operates in such a way that electronic identities and electronic signatures and electronic seals can be used in a device-agnostic way. Traditionally, as you know, in many countries, these are on smart cards, etc., which don't really play well with mobile devices because the private key is stored on a physical medium. In a number of member states already, also the electronic identities and signatures were mobile or roaming, that is, they are stored by the trust service provider, so the user authenticates in order to sign a document to electronically identify, and there is a clarification in the eIDAS revised text. But more significantly, the Commission considered that this is an important opportunity to do two things. First of all, we had to make swift progress with a common European digital identity to reduce the fragmentation which was already happening there on the